From being handpicked as the chosen one to facing a shocking release in 2014, his career seemed over. But McIntyre's resilience saw him rise from the ashes, dominating the indie scene before returning to WWE with a vengeance. His evolution from failure to WWE champion is a testament to hard work, redemption, and perseverance, making him one of the most compelling stories in wrestling. In 2009, Vince McMahon stands in the ring and makes a bold declaration. He points to a young 6'5" Scottish wrestler and calls him a future world champion. That wrestler is Drew McIntyre, and McMahon dubs him his hand-picked star. It's a moment that should launch a superstar. Fast forward 5 years, and WWE is handing McIntyre his walking papers. How does someone go from future champion to unemployed in just half a decade? At first, everything seems to be going according to plan. McIntyre wins the Intercontinental Championship and looks unstoppable. He's got the size, the skill, and the backing of the boss himself. But then things start to unravel. His matches become less impressive, and his character loses its edge. Before long, McIntyre finds himself in a comedy act. He's part of a group called 3MB, short for Three-Man Band. Picture this. The guy McMahon once praised is now prancing around in tight pants, pretending to be a rock star. It's a far cry from the dominant force he was supposed to be. This fall from grace isn't unique to McIntyre. WWE often builds up wrestlers only to suddenly lose interest. Without consistent support, even the most promising talents can struggle. So what goes wrong? Is it McIntyre's fault? Does WWE's creative team drop the ball? Or is it a mix of bad timing and missed opportunities? The answer isn't simple, but one thing's for sure, McIntyre's initial run in WWE doesn't live up to expectations. By 2014, McIntyre is barely featured on TV. When he does show up, it's usually to lose quickly to other stars. Then, on June 12, 2014, WWE makes a shocking announcement. Drew McIntyre, along with several other wrestlers, is released from his contract. Imagine being told you're destined for greatness, only to be shown the door 5 years later. For McIntyre, it must feel like his dream is dying. But here's the thing about Drew McIntyre. He's not one to give up easily. While this chapter of his story ends with a pink slip, it's far from the final page. In fact, this moment of failure becomes the spark that ignites an incredible comeback. The journey of this once praised star is about to take an unexpected turn, and trust me, you won't believe where it leads. Remember how we said McIntyre's journey was about to take an unexpected turn? Well, this roller coaster is about to drop. What happens when the man Vince McMahon once called the chosen one becomes the forgotten one overnight? Drew McIntyre's WWE release comes on his wedding day, turning joy into shock in an instant. 1 minute, he's a WWE superstar. The next, he's unemployed and wondering what went wrong. McIntyre's world flips faster than a ref's 3 count. But hitting rock bottom means there's only one way to go, up. McIntyre doesn't mope. He takes a hard look at himself. He sees where he went wrong. Maybe he got too comfortable. Maybe he stopped pushing. It's like realizing you've been coasting when you should have been pedaling hard. McIntyre's honest with himself. He admits he lost his passion, his drive. He stopped being the hungry young lion Vince McMahon saw potential in. It's a tough truth, but it's what he needs to hear. This self-reflection kickstarts his comeback. But this isn't a fairy tale. McIntyre struggles. He's got bills and a new wife to support. The indie wrestling scene isn't exactly welcoming. He goes from packed arenas to half-empty high school gyms. Talk about a change. Yet through it all, McIntyre's determined. He's not going to be a whatever happened to that guy story. He's set on writing a comeback for the ages. But how does a guy labeled a failure in the big leagues rebuild from scratch? That's the big question. And McIntyre's about to answer it in a way that'll shock everyone. He's going to become a whole new wrestler, a whole new man. The Drew McIntyre who returns to the ring isn't going to be the chosen one. He's going to be something much more. As McIntyre starts his journey, one thing's clear. His comeback is just beginning. And trust me, you don't want to miss a single moment of this incredible story. Drew McIntyre's journey from WWE superstar to indie wrestler shows the true meaning of starting over. With determination and a dream, he proves that comebacks can start in the smallest venues. McIntyre now performs in high school gyms and community centers, a stark contrast to his WWE days. For him, this is a chance to rebuild from the ground up. The indie wrestling scene is tough, full of hungry, young talent. McIntyre's WWE past makes him a target. Every match is a chance for an up-and-comer to beat a former WWE star. It's like being the new kid at school, but instead of making friends, everyone wants to take you down. McIntyre embraces the challenge. He hits the gym harder than ever, sculpting his body into an even more impressive physique. His character changes too. Gone is the cocky chosen one or the goofy rocker of 3MB. In his place stands a warrior, a Scottish psychopath ready to fight anyone, anywhere. The results speak for themselves. McIntyre becomes a champion across the indie scene, racking up titles and impressive victories. His matches become must-see events, whether he's facing off against Ricochet or tearing the house down with Killian Dane. As word of McIntyre's dominance spreads, people wonder if WWE is watching. Is the company seeing this new and improved version of their former star? By 2017, McIntyre isn't just succeeding on the indie scene, he's thriving. He's become one of the hottest free agents in wrestling, a far cry from the man who was released just 3 years earlier. As the buzz around McIntyre reaches a fever pitch, one thing becomes clear. He's ready for a second chance. But this time, he's not waiting to be chosen. He's kicking down the door, demanding the spotlight, and proving that sometimes you have to lose it all to gain everything. Drew McIntyre returns to the WWE after dominating the indie scene, but instead of a grand main roster comeback, he lands in NXT. It's an unexpected move, but McIntyre sees it as a chance to showcase his evolution as a wrestler. The NXT crowd is initially unsure about McIntyre, but he quickly wins them over with his impressive performances. He tears through the roster, leaving fans amazed and opponents battered. McIntyre's first major test comes against Bobby Roode for the NXT Championship. The match is intense and hard-hitting, with McIntyre ultimately emerging victorious. This win cements his place at the top of NXT and proves he's a force to be reckoned with. As champion, McIntyre takes on the role of a leader and mentor in the locker room. He faces tough challenges from competitors like Andrade, Cien, Almas, and Adam Cole, each match pushing him to his limits and showcasing his skills. As McIntyre continues to impress at NXT, rumors start to circulate about a potential main roster call-up. Fans eagerly anticipate seeing the Scottish Warrior on Raw or SmackDown. However, fate has other plans. During a match against Andrade Cien Almas, McIntyre suffers a serious bicep injury. This setback forces him to relinquish the NXT Championship and take time off to recover. Despite this unfortunate turn of events, McIntyre's run in NXT is considered a major success. He proves he can lead a brand, deliver in big matches, and connect with the audience. As he begins his recovery, the wrestling world speculates about what's next for the Scottish Warrior. Whether he returns to NXT or moves to the main roster, one thing is clear. Drew McIntyre's return to WWE's main roster in April 2018 is a complete transformation. The pretty boy Vince McMahon once handpicked for stardom is gone, replaced by a battle-hardened warrior with a chip on his shoulder. McIntyre debuts on Raw with a bang, teaming up with Dolph Ziggler. Together, they shake up the locker room, calling out complacency and demanding more from their peers. This new McIntyre is intense, focused, and not afraid to speak his mind. In promos, he calls out other wrestlers for being lazy and entitled, a stark contrast to his previous WWE run. His in-ring style evolves too, becoming known for hard-hitting, physical matches that leave opponents reeling. The Claymore kick, his finishing move, becomes one of the most devastating in WWE. As McIntyre tears through the Raw roster, fans start to get behind him. They appreciate his no-nonsense attitude and impressive skills. Even when he's playing the bad guy, there's respect for his abilities. But it's not all smooth sailing. McIntyre faces setbacks, including a loss to Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 35. Instead of letting it derail him, he uses it as fuel, coming back stronger and more determined. By late 2019, McIntyre is clearly on the verge of something big. He's consistently putting on great matches and cutting compelling promos. Fans are eager to see him move into the world title picture. As the year comes to a close, McIntyre stands tall as one of Raw's top stars. He's no longer the chosen one. He's chosen himself, forging his own path to success. The WWE Universe is firmly behind him, ready to see him take the next step. The stage is set for Drew's defining moment, and it looks like it's going to be worth the wait. Drew McIntyre enters the 2020 Royal Rumble at number 16, ready to seize his moment. The ring is packed with superstars, but Drew starts cleaning house immediately. He tosses out opponent after opponent, the crowd roaring with each elimination. The real challenge comes when Drew faces off against Roman Reigns. These two powerhouses clash in the center of the ring, trading blows that make the whole arena shake. Just when it seems like Drew might be in trouble, he finds an opening. With a mighty roar, he hoists Roman up and sends him flying over the top. The crowd goes wild, shocked, and thrilled by the sight. As the match wears on, Drew finds himself among the final few competitors. It's down to him and Keith Lee, another formidable opponent. They lock eyes, knowing only one can walk away the winner. Drew summons his strength and charges forward, catching Keith with his signature Claymore kick. Keith tumbles over the top rope, and just like that, Drew McIntyre has won the Royal Rumble. Confetti rains down as Drew climbs the turnbuckle, pointing to the WrestleMania sign. It's a moment of triumph years in the making. Without hesitation, Drew makes his choice for WrestleMania. He points straight at Brock Lesnar, the reigning WWE champion and one of the most dominant forces in wrestling history. As Drew stands tall in the ring, his ticket to WrestleMania punched, the excitement is palpable. The boy who was once the chosen one has now chosen his own destiny. The biggest match of Drew's life awaits, and it's shaping up to be one for the books. WrestleMania 36 is unlike any other in history. The COVID-19 pandemic forces WWE to move the event to the Performance Center with no live audience. It's like a concert in an empty room. Drew McIntyre faces Brock Lesnar for the WWE Championship. Lesnar, a former UFC champion, is known for manhandling opponents. Can McIntyre overcome this challenge in such a strange setting? The match begins and Lesnar takes control. He tosses McIntyre around, delivering German suplexes with ease. It looks like McIntyre's dream might crumble, but then the tide turns. McIntyre finds an opening and hits Lesnar with a Claymore kick. The Beast staggers. McIntyre delivers another Claymore, and Lesnar stumbles again. The tension builds, even without a crowd. Finally, McIntyre lands a third Claymore kick. Lesnar falls, and the referee counts to 3. Drew McIntyre, once fired and forgotten, is now the WWE champion. His triumph echoes through the empty arena. This victory makes history. McIntyre becomes the first British-born WWE champion and the first to win the title in WWE's Performance Center. It's a milestone in wrestling history. As McIntyre celebrates, new challenges emerge. How will his reign unfold without live crowds? Can he connect with fans through a screen? The road ahead is uncharted territory for a WWE champion. But for now, McIntyre savors his moment. He's reached the top after a long, hard climb. The chosen one has fulfilled his destiny, not because someone chose him, but because he chose to never give up. As the cameras fade to black, one thing is clear. Drew McIntyre's journey is far from over. He's won the battle, but the war is just beginning. The real challenge lies ahead as he prepares to lead WWE through its strangest time ever. Can the Scottish Warrior rise to this unprecedented challenge? Drew McIntyre's WWE Championship reign begins during the COVID-19 pandemic, with WWE holding shows without live audiences. This creates a unique challenge for McIntyre as he tries to connect with fans through the camera and virtual Thunderdome screens. His first major feud is with Seth Rollins, where McIntyre proves he can deliver compelling performances even without crowd energy. He then faces off against his former 3MB stablemate, Jinder Mahal, adding a personal touch to his reign. One of McIntyre's most memorable rivalries during this time is with Randy Orton. Their feud spans several months and multiple pay-per-views, with both wrestlers trading victories and keeping fans engaged. Despite the challenging circumstances, McIntyre's reign receives positive reviews from critics and fans. Many praise his ability to carry the company during such a difficult time, with his matches consistently delivering on both weekly TV and pay-per-view events. However, TV ratings during this period decline, though it's difficult to attribute this solely to McIntyre's performance. The lack of live audiences and the general uncertainty of the pandemic affect all of sports and entertainment. Throughout his reign, McIntyre established himself as a fighting champion, defending his title frequently against various opponents. From up-and-comers to established veterans, he takes on all challengers, proving he deserves to be at the top. As WWE begins to plan for the return of live events, anticipation builds for how McIntyre will perform in front of actual crowds. He's carried the company through its strangest time ever, but the true test of his championship medal is yet to come. The chosen one has fulfilled his destiny, but can he keep his crown when the wrestling world returns to normal? As live crowds return in mid-2021, Drew McIntyre remains a central figure in WWE. The roar of fans reignites his connection with the audience, showcasing his charisma and in-ring talent to the fullest. While he loses the WWE Championship to Bobby Lashley at WrestleMania 37, the Scottish Warrior's journey is far from over. McIntyre engages in a series of high-profile feuds, including an intense rivalry with Sheamus. The matches between these two former friends highlight Drew's ability to deliver hard-hitting, emotional storytelling inside the ring. Each contest earns widespread acclaim, proving Drew's versatility beyond the title scene. Although McIntyre struggles to recapture the championship immediately, he remains a fan favorite. His persona shifts slightly, leaning into his Scottish heritage with new gear and storytelling that resonates deeply with the audience. In September 2022, McIntyre headlines WWE's first major UK event in decades, Clash at the Castle, held in Cardiff, Wales. Facing Roman Reigns for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship, McIntyre enters to thunderous applause. The match is a modern classic, with near falls and high drama captivating the crowd. Although he falls short due to interference from Solo Sikoa, the bout solidifies McIntyre as a legitimate main event talent capable of elevating any storyline. Following this, McIntyre leads WWE's European tours, becoming the face of the company for its international markets. His appearances sell out arenas, and he uses his platform to inspire young fans worldwide. McIntyre entered 2023 with renewed focus, determined to make a mark in a company crowded with ambitious stars. One of McIntyre's most significant storylines of the year was his feud with Gunther, the reigning Intercontinental Champion. Gunther had dominated the division, bringing prestige back to the title with his hard-hitting style and unrelenting intensity. The prospect of McIntyre, a powerhouse in his own right, challenging Gunther was tantalizing. The rivalry peaked at WrestleMania 39, where McIntyre, Gunther, and Sheamus faced off in a brutal triple threat match for the Intercontinental Championship. The contest, hailed as one of the most physical in recent memory, showcased McIntyre's toughness and ability to deliver on the grandest stage. Although Gunther emerged victorious, McIntyre's performance solidified his role as a key player in WWE's upper card. His matches on weekly television remained must-see events, consistently delivering high-quality performances against opponents like Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, and Finn Balor. By the end of 2023, McIntyre had firmly established himself as one of WWE's most reliable and versatile performers. Though he did not capture any championships during the year, his in-ring work, promo skills, and fan connection kept him at the forefront of WWE programming. In 2024, Drew McIntyre found himself locked in one of the most intense and personal feuds of his career against CM Punk. Punk's return to WWE in late 2023 reignited fan interest, with his comeback intertwined with McIntyre's simmering frustration over missed opportunities. The rivalry became a focal point of WWE programming, blending real-life tension and storyline drama. The animosity between the two peaked at the Royal Rumble 2024, where McIntyre's attack on Punk's injured arm further sidelined the returning star. McIntyre, now fully embracing his role as a top heel, took pride in his actions, taunting Punk in promos and cementing his reputation as a ruthless competitor. Meanwhile, Punk's vow for revenge kept the tension high even during his absence, with sporadic social media jabs and on-screen references fueling the storyline. The feud escalated dramatically at WrestleMania 40, where McIntyre stepped into a World Heavyweight Championship match after Punk's injury forced him out. McIntyre defeated Seth Rollins to seemingly capture his crowning moment, only for Punk to interfere post-match, aiding Damian Priest in a successful Money in the Bank cash-in. This betrayal intensified McIntyre's descent into a darker, more obsessive character, with his quest for redemption taking a personal turn. Their next encounter came at Clash of the Castle in Scotland, where McIntyre sought to reclaim glory in front of his home country. In a cruel twist, Punk's interference once again cost him the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, echoing his heartbreaking loss to Roman Reigns at the 2022 event in Wales. This series of setbacks painted McIntyre as a tragic yet relentless figure, further blurring the lines between hero and villain. The rivalry continued at SummerSlam 2024 in a highly anticipated match officiated by Seth Rollins. McIntyre emerged victorious in a brutal contest, using underhanded tactics to finally defeat Punk. This win marked a defining moment in McIntyre's career, showcasing his ability to adapt and thrive as a complex, layered character. This feud, spanning months of explosive moments and personal animosity, reinforced Drew McIntyre's position as one of WWE's most compelling performers. It also highlighted his evolution from a resilient underdog to a calculating and formidable presence in the ring. As Punk hinted at unfinished business, the rivalry's conclusion left fans eager for the next chapter in McIntyre's storied career. The second match between McIntyre and Punk, a strap match, received mixed reactions despite being a marked improvement from their first encounter. Fans appreciated the elevated intensity, but criticized the stipulation's gimmicky nature and presentation, feeling it clashed with the hatred underpinning their storyline. Despite these hurdles, Punk emerged victorious, evening the score at 1-1 and setting the stage for a dramatic conclusion. The match featured callbacks to their previous encounters, with reversals and anticipated spots keeping the audience engaged. A particularly clever moment saw McIntyre teasing thumbtacks, only to pour out beads instead, adding a psychological edge to the physicality. Ultimately, Punk sealed the victory, securing the series 2-1 and cementing his first feud back in WWE as a major success. The Hell in a Cell match received widespread acclaim, hailed as one of the year's best and a definitive chapter for their feud. While Punk's victory was the right decision to reestablish him as a top player in WWE, McIntyre emerged from the rivalry with his reputation enhanced. His performance reinstated him in the main event conversation, proving that even in defeat, he could shine as a resilient, top-tier competitor. As the dust settles on their war, one thing is clear. This rivalry will be remembered as one of the defining moments of WWE in 2024, a testament to what happens when passion and storyline collide in the squared circle. Speaking of passion and storytelling, some WWE promos have gone beyond kayfabe, hitting personal nerves and leaving audiences questioning how much was scripted and how much was real. In our next video, we'll dive into WWE promos that got way too real and way too personal. From scathing insults to shocking revelations, these moments blurred the lines between performance and genuine emotion. Click here to watch now.